Everyone, thank you so much for joining me for another Mystery Mystic Monday reading. We are continuing on with this opening oracle reading. I anticipate at some point in the future I will be doing a detailed tarot reading using my tarot cards. In part one and in this part, I'm just using oracle, just trying to get a feel for what are we dealing with here? Who may be in the know? Is it just one person that's responsible for what happened to Keimani, or more people, and what's to come, right? And what happened here. So that's what we're going to continue to explore. I have to give you a very sad update. And that is, at the time of this recording, we found out that Keimani was found in an abandoned, burnt out building. And her, word is that she's been confirmed as deceased. So the question is, will her dad, who is allegedly responsible for this happening, will he be arrested? There's all these conflicting reports right now. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. We're going to use the Divine Crime Oracle. I'm going to shuffle it in sections. We're just looking for additional information. We have January. Okay. Group fight. Group fight. Seasoned criminal. System knowledge. Repeat offender. Let's get some from this section. Oh my goodness, male child victim. That's interesting. Don't know what that could mean at this point. We'll see. 160 kilometers to 200 kilometers. Motorbike or motorcycle or, yeah, we'll say motorcycle or motorbike, it says. Female child victim. Oh, this makes me so sad. Oh my goodness. New identity, don't want to be found. Fresh start, new life. Crossing borders. Okay. Lust, affair, temptation, and infidelity. All right. Thank God. Solved evidence. That's a good sign. Pull a few more. Unknown to police, not in the system, clean record. We also have someone who is in the system, who is a repeat offender. And in part one, the card 2 or more came up. So that could be 2 or more people who have something to do with this or in the know or responsible, allegedly, right? So we have here 15 to 35 kilometers. I'll tell you what all of these kilometers cards could potentially mean in a moment. Oh, more. Lots of travel. Lots of travel back and forth. Hold on, Way. 1 second, you all. I'm going to have to pause. Someone knocked at my door. Someone. Okay. February. Mental illness, stress, fragmented breakdown. Okay. I'm gonna grab that one in a moment. I just want ones to, this falls on the table. Law enforcement, police intervention. Okay. All right, so we have here, let me turn this so we don't have a glare. Sorry for the glare, friends. You know how that goes. Let me see. Okay. January. We have a January up here and February. When the month's cards come up like this means that that month is of importance. It could be tied to someone's birthday, like the perp's birthday, or someone who is a key witness's birthday, or it could be of significance in the past, like something happening in January that is of importance to this case. Or it could be that in the future, next year, January could be when the case moves to the next phase, the trial phase, or if there is even a trial, who knows, or the next time we get more information or the family gets more information, it could be January. But January is of significance. I get a sense that it is probably something to do with this past January especially, but also in the future January. But past January, something coming about. It could have been the plan starting to coalesce, okay, and start to take root. This plan to try to come up, get over. Oh God, group fight. This could represent something coming up in the future. It could represent a group fight that's happened in the past. One thing is clear, that there's a lot of friction and different competing sides in this family dynamic. You don't know necessarily who or what to believe because there's a lot of infighting. So the group fight card could just simply be speaking on that. Doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, there's a big old physical altercation, although it could be. Something could be brewing that a group fight will break out. It also could represent a past group fight that we may not be privy to, or maybe family may be privy to, that has something to do with, okay, sorry about that. I got a call. Group fight. It's interesting. I don't know. There's something about it, something about the dynamics leading, this being one of the reasons why this all happened in the first place. Not enough cohesion in protecting the offspring of this family, allegedly. Okay. A lot of group fight think. Seasoned criminal, system knowledge, repeat offender, someone who's very well versed with the system, a seasoned criminal, a repeat offender. Yes, it could be a S offender. Sure. It could also just be, you know, a run of the mill, lots of robberies under their belt. What I will say is this person could be the father who's allegedly the one who did this assault or abduction and presumably took her life, that he may himself have been a victim at some point in his life. We have male child victim. It is sitting next to the seasoned criminal card. It also could represent that this seasoned criminal has a male child victim that we will come to learn about in the future, or another victim, another child victim. Some kind of child victim, second child victim being involved. Now, I'm going to talk about all of these kilometers cards as a whole. Oftentimes when you get cards like these, it's saying that there's a person who's traveling, round trip to do the crime, cover up the crime, go back home, clean up, do that over and over again. So sometimes we see that and we'll see 1 or 2 kilometer cards, right? So I feel like there's multiple people involved. They live in various spots away from the crime scene. As we now know, there's multiple crime scenes, like I mentioned in part 1. There's the grandmother's house. Then there's the crime scene of where they discovered that sweet little girl, Keimani's body. So there's that crime scene. There could be multiple crime scenes that are in various spots. Okay, we have crossing borders. Crossing borders could be crossing a state line, even just a city line, like if you go from one town to the next town. But someone crossing borders, or someone in the near future crossing borders. We did get a card in part 1 about a fugitive or someone being on the run or has the potential to flee, would desire to leave if they could. I say that because it's sitting next to the new identity, don't want to be found, fresh start, new life. Someone who could have in the past had a new life. Maybe it's the mom. I'm not saying that the mom did anything, by the way, the biological mom of Keimani. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying she did move. I think she's like 2 hours away in Cleveland. Correct me if I'm wrong about the distance, but there's Cleveland, Ohio, where she resided, Toledo, where this happened, and where her daughter was living with her mom, which is Keimani's grandmother, and also living in the same city as this guy who is supposed to be her father. So all of this is in the mix here, but it could just be talking about, this situation. And maybe the mom knows a lot more about what happened. Not saying she did anything or that she's behind this. No, like maybe law enforcement has revealed a lot more to her since, finding out that Keimani was missing. I don't know why I feel the need to say that, but that's just what is coming through. Like she has a lot more, and we have to also give her space. She just lost her child. So yeah, it's really sad. I'm not, we don't know yet. There's a lot going on here because in part 1, what stuck out to me was the 2 or more cards and the spider and hag cards in part 1. About their feeling like there's some sort of orchestrated network of what led up to all of this and someone losing control. We have here temptation, leaning into temptation. Infidelity, affair, lust, somebody, and the jealousy card came up too. Like, I don't know. Could somebody been jealous of Keimani? It just is odd to me. That dynamic, that energy. And I don't know what it is or what's coming through on that yet. I'll have to sit with that. Good news is we have the solved card, evidence. Now, right now, we know that at the time of this recording, the father, Keimani's father, has a warrant out for his arrest. I have not heard yet that he's actually been apprehended and arrested and taken into custody. There's these rumors that he took his life, and really there's just no way of getting confirmation. It really is a case that's just moving rapidly fast, and it's really difficult to know what's the truth. I've never seen a case so volatile with the information of how fast it comes out. You literally get whiplash. The good news. Evidence is going to lead to us getting the answers, right? And that's what we want. We want justice for her. We want to know what happened and why. I do think that there is someone who wittingly or unwittingly has helped this man or the person who's accused of doing this to her. We have unknown to police, not in the system, clean record. It could be someone who, maybe got parking tickets, very much not in the system for violent crimes. So someone in the know, or a witness, or maybe even an unwitting or witting accessory after the fact, or even accomplice before this all happened, being a part of this plan. 15 to 35 kilometers came up, 200 to 500 kilometers, and 0 to 15 kilometers. Ground zero is grandmother's house. And there's a lot of information or evidence there that will be critical to cracking the case open. I'll say that. It's like a radius here, right? We have the target, and then you go out, like a target, and then, or a bullseye, and a radius. And you're seeing that here with the 0 to 15 kilometers, 15 to 35 kilometers, 160, 200, 500. So to me, it symbolizes there's more than one person who's kind of has their own little orbit as it relates to what happened to her and their level of involvement. Like, evidence could be also sprinkled at these different points. So now we have February. February is of significance, similar to January. It's like January, February of this past year being of significance related to what happened to her. Something we may find out down the line as the case unfolds, as we hopefully get more insight and information, is to come about. February could represent a person who's involved or in the know, their birth month, or it could represent something happening in the future in the month of February. We may hear about someone suffering from mental illness, stress, fragmented, or had a breakdown related to this case. Someone, snapping. Maybe someone snapped in the month of February or January, or someone will. This is going to have long-standing ramifications for the families involved, the friends, the classmates, the teachers, the coach, the community. And it's really sad. It's just really a sad thing that has happened here to this sweet girl. Like, it just doesn't feel like she got a chance to be a young person. Her grandmother described her as a latchkey kid. I was a latchkey kid, but wow, it just seems like she just didn't get a bit of peace. I could be wrong. So it could be this is her stress as well. Card can represent multiple people involved, or singularly one person. Then we have law enforcement or police intervention. So we could hear about a standoff, or we could hear about more arrests in the future, or more interrogations. But nevertheless, police did act swiftly. I did give a little harshness to, how they approached it. I understand them keeping things close to the vest, but it really left the community and the family feeling like they're just out here, with no sense of the urgency in investigating when, they were working on something. And I just think that, coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? They could have made some form of announcements a little quicker, or did something. Law enforcement will always have, especially those really close to this case, will probably have some regrets, because the time card came up in part 1. That's telling me that if they had moved a little quicker, this could have had a different outcome. And I'll leave it at that. Okay, and this is all alleged, but I'll leave it at that. If you catch my drift, like this could have had a different outcome. Okay, friends, I'm going to pause here and just take a look, see at what other decks I want to pull down, take a picture of these cards, shift them over here, and then we'll see what else we want to work with before we wrap up. Okay, before we move on to the next deck, I wanted to go a little bit further into the motorcycle one, the female child victim in the country wilderness card. This could be someone who has an affinity for riding motorcycles or is a motorcyclist or maybe took a picture on a motorcycle or somehow, some way, someone moved to and from on a motorcycle. I don't know, but I wanted to mention that. Sometimes it's just simply saying the person who's mainly responsible has an affinity for motorbikes or motorcycles. The next card I want to talk about is female child victim. Now, at first glance, we know it's speaking about Keimani. We know that. But I got a sense that this card was telling me that it was related to another victim. Like we're also going to hear, we saw a male child victim, but we may hear about another female child victim at some point in the near future related to this case. Okay, that's what I picked up. It's not just about her or, Keimani. It's also about someone else, another female child victim. Maybe this time someone who, when I see wilderness or country, yes, it can mean a physical location of where these alleged children victims are, but it also could be out in the wilderness, like no one really ever was prosecuted, or it's just out in the wild. Nobody knows. It just never had any resolution. So it could be something like that, symbolic of that, if that makes sense, right? Sometimes the cards are metaphorically speaking, not just giving you physical location, but metaphorically speaking. The card that fell to the floor was the old car. So it could be someone who's into vehicles or old cars, or had an old car, or old car is in front of their house, or something about an old car. Transporting someone in an old car into old cars. I guess you could say like classics, but also beaters, right? Okay, now we can move on to the next deck. All right, so let's just get clarity on who are folks in the know. Clues on who is in the know from the Who Clarifying Oracle. Coming in to nurture and support. Friend, acquaintance, or co-worker. Okay. And that reminds me of the Friends and Associates card that we got in part 1. Coming in to nurture and support. This could be a family member, allegedly. It could be, the dad who is purported to be the one who did all of this. But it could be also someone else. I don't know if there's any truth to his story that Keimani contacted him because she was scared. We don't know if that's a made-up story or not. But if it's true, that really is disturbing. Coming in to nurture and support, and then someone tagging along. This is also a bit disturbing as well. Friend, acquaintance, or co-worker. All right, so we'll see if I can, and this is all alleged, by the way. This is, how do we say this? For entertainment and educational purposes only. And everything discussed here is of my opinion only, okay? We are not making allegations, nor do we have the authority to do so. In terms of legal allegations, I should say, where I'm like, a prosecutor, that is not what we are doing. We're looking at the cards. Mirror, karmic connection. A mirror can also stand for two. You're looking in the mirror and you're looking back at your reflection. What's reflecting back at you? It could be, how a spitting image of your parent. It could be a mirror, like evil mirroring evil between the perps and those who ultimately make excuses or protect those who are in the know or involved. That's what I have to say about that. Okay, next up, we're going to work with my defining characteristics oracle. Hazel eyes. So we know that this is very close to home. This is not necessarily stranger danger here. Okay, we have hazel eyes, prominent forehead, woman, child or childlike. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. Sorry for all the movement. We'll pull a couple of more. Is there anything else? Any other characteristics? Dark skin that we need to be aware of someone in a key witness in the know. One card, please. Or someone who's involved, accessory, after the fact, or accomplice. I want one card, please. Green eyes. Okay. All right. So we've got hazel eyes. When I see these colored eyes, I think someone who wears contacts or someone who actually does have different color eyes than the standard. What is the standard? Brown, or I guess blue, but also contacts. Someone who's been known or has been shown to wear contacts, allegedly. The card here, green eyes, sometimes this one comes up for me when there's jealousy. I don't know why I keep getting this strong energy of jealousy from these readings. I did a part 1 and the jealousy oracle card came up, and then now I've got green eyes, like, you know, you're green with envy. This card is what's speaking to me. That's disturbing, but I'll probably, in the tarot reading that we do at some point in the near future, I'll ask a bit more about what is this jealousy card that keeps coming up, or this jealousy energy. If you all have an intuitive hit on what that might be, let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know in the comment section what questions you would like me to pose as I'm doing the tarot and oracle reading. I am a questions-based reader, meaning that when I do tarot, I like to ask questions and see what cards come up to answer those questions. And I timestamp the reading at that point for tarot readings. So share some questions you think would be good related to Keimani's death, her abduction. You know, please share what questions you think would be good for me to ask. Okay, now, prominent forehead. One or more persons involved could have a very prominent forehead. Woman. There's a woman who wittingly or unwittingly has helped the main perp or perps. Or it could be spearheading the whole thing. You know, we've got that with the spider card. A black widow, if you will. Creating a web. Okay. Child or childlike. Could represent the children that are victims, but it also could represent one of the people who are involved. They could have a low IQ, or maybe they're childlike. Maybe, you know, there's something kind of emotionally, developmentally off, or they just have a personality that's very child or childlike. This card says child or childlike. It could be someone who we would consider a child, maybe someone in their late teens, like 18, 19, allegedly. Or it just could be that, you know, a child, I don't know, could be a luring another child. It's interesting to me. Okay, dark skin. One or more of the ones involved have dark skin. Now, the father has light skin like Keimani. So, I don't know. Could be someone else involved or in the know who has dark skin. And we've already talked about the green eyes card. I'm going to stop here and take a picture of these set of cards and move them out of the way. Okay, so little precursor to the tarot reading we're going to do. Remember to leave me questions that you like to ask. I'm going to come up with my own questions, but sometimes you all offer up some really insightful ones that I want to ask during the part 3, which is the detailed tarot reading. But Spirit, can you just give us a sense of, will we get the whole picture? Will justice prevail in this case, or what our sense of justice is? We have three of Cups. That's a yes, but the Tower is like, there's going to be a sense of, yes, we're going to get the answers. Yes, we're going to get some sense of justice. That at least one of the main people is paid the ultimate price for, whether they get caught and they get prosecuted or they did take their own life. There is something to celebrate in that regard. That is what the 3 of Cups or 3 of Water is talking about. Okay, there is some cause for celebration. A time frame, we could find out some more information in the next 3 days, or the season of early summer, okay, like June, July, with the 3 of Cups. The Tower, oh my goodness, something like, that was on shaky foundation is falling down. And it could be something tied with the family members, like something, a facade is crumbling down with this Tower card. It represents a calamity. Your world turns upside down, particularly during the Tower period of March 21st to April 20th. So we are in that time period, and this my heart really just goes out to the family. This also represents some time in the future, a Tower period, later down the line, next year, for example. Or it could represent a Tower period in the past that led us to this point. But this is how you can look at timing. With the suits, you can assign a season or day, the timing, days, weeks, months, years. And then Tower is associated with its own timing. I'm going to now pull a few timing cards. We will, in the next part, go a bit further into timing. I just wanted to see if there's anything Spirit wanted to point out before we wrap up the reading. We have like tomorrow. Literally, this case has been moving quickly, swiftly. Tomorrow. It also could symbolize a brighter tomorrow. Change, affecting change from this tragedy. Power outage, friends. Again, this time it's unplanned. We have any day now. Okay, and that goes with that 3 of Cups energy. One more card. Monday being of critical importance in the past. We know that officially that's the last time she was seen, was on a Monday. Let's see if we get anything more. We have 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks preceding her disappearance, or 4 to 5 weeks from now, something more coming about. We have Thursday being of importance related to the case, something happening or being discovered by people who are close to this case. So that's interesting to me. Let me zoom out, sorry friends, so you can see all the cards. I got a gang of cards, don't I? All right, now we have Thursday, Monday of importance to this case. This could be like people knew something was awry by the Thursday, even before the mom made it to town on Friday to go search for Keimani, the biological mom. Something was amiss that Thursday. This also could represent a Thursday in the future. That is a critical time in the case. So we have within a month and June. June makes sense because it goes with the 3 of Cups I talked about earlier, or 3 of Water, and June being of significance. It could be June, like a person's birthday or, birth month. It could be sometime in the future or sometime in the past, being a critical month to the case, to what happened to her. Spirit, one more, and then I'm going to wrap up this reading. Midnight. Oof. Well, we know that's allegedly when all this purportedly went down, 12:30-ish. So this being something critical with the time, midnight being of importance to the case. The allegation of midnight. People defending leaving her at midnight. All of these things. We'll see how that plays out. It could be something happening at midnight. I don't know. You all let me know what you think this card means. So now that I have no power again, and it's getting darker, I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know what you all think about all of this down in the comment section below. Have you done readings on this case? Do you plan to? I am sick over it, I have to tell you, because I just was instantly drawn to Keimani. I saw her dancing on TikTok, and she reminds me so much of my own daughter. And I'm like, I just, my heart breaks. It breaks. I'm sickened over what's happened. It's a nightmare. And it's just, I can't even imagine for those who are closest to the situation, what you all are going through right now. I'm so sorry. All right, friends, don't forget to leave me questions that you'd like for part 3. I'll work on that as I can fit it in this week. I have client readings and a reading lab I'm hosting, teaching on reading the cards on Saturday. So I don't know. I'm going to do my best, but I want to give us time to gather the questions and then for me to organize them, record the video, timestamp the video with the questions for each timestamp so it's easy for you to go and click and look at the tarot reading. So it's going to take me a little bit, okay? But bear with me. Do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means so much to me. You all take very good care of yourselves. Hold and squeeze your little ones a little tighter tonight, okay? Bye for now.